Main things we want to do is start to, guys, let's back it up. What's the difference between side control and mount? It seems obvious, but there's a distinct characteristic that distinguishes the two. In mount, I'm controlling him with my legs, right? I have control over his movement with my legs. My arms are kind of free to strike or to do stuff. In a side pin and side control, most of my control of his body comes through my arms, me holding him here, and my legs aren't involved in the equation, right? So one of the things we're looking at is using our legs and side control to help pin his arms and attack his arms and separate his arms from his body, right? So that, and then we utilize our legs more in side control. It makes it more effective pin where I can start using my arms to start setting up submissions. Does that make sense? So the first thing we do is we're looking to first take this arm out of the equation, the far arm. We looked at the 10-finger method. He's framed under my neck, right? I swim in here, 10-finger, and I open this up, and now I get the underhook that I want. We're gonna look at another way to do it, which is also based off of a Americana, right? So a very classic, submission attempt that good guys can also easily escape the Americana. So it's a nice little dilemma, but when he goes to escape, I'm gonna end up with the underhook. So here, he's got this elbow in tight, his hand is like close, defending his neck. I wanna get in here under his elbow and then catch right there. So I just have his elbow trapped with a little bit of my elbow underneath, right? So even if it's like really tight right here, I can always, like a knife edge, see it gets skinnier to fatter, like this is the point. I can always start to insert under my fingers, my wrist, and then get my elbow to start sliding under his elbow, right? He's still got this frame here. Now, if he does like a big violent press away, pushes on my neck, right? This is, gives me room to swim under, right? Or to come over and get the underhook right there. But let's say he's just like worried about that and I just catch here, right? I get his elbow trapped here. I'm gonna put my hand right here to sort of circle around his arm. From here, I'm gonna start to sit out a little bit, get a little turnout, and then from here, it's easy to get his hand and start pushing his hand across and feeding into the Americana. Right? So with just a minimal of purchase on his elbow, I come here, I sit through, bring my hand up, find his hand, and just make the transfer there. Now from here, as I go to finish the Americana, let's just work on finishing this first. I keep his hand out. I'm gonna bring my elbow close to his ribs and start elevating my elbow, dragging it across his ribs for the finish. Usually we just flare the elbow up, but that leaves a lot of space, right? I'm gonna bring my elbow to his ribs and start pulling my elbow right across his rib cage for a nice, strong, very tight finish. Okay, so we'll just drill that initially, right? He's in tight here. I go here under the elbow, lock, turn, catch the hand, thread it, elbow by his ear, elbow to his ribs, pull up and get a nice little tap. So we'll start off with that, and then we'll look at the guy just popping his arm out of there, and we're left with the underhook. And then we'll go into a whole nother series of attacks once we get the underhook. But it's good to have a little Americana in your arsenal, just to butter, to warm people up a little bit, so you can get some easy submissions there sometimes on newer people. So it's a good thing to have in your arsenal. Cool? All right, one clap, 1, 2, 3.